The final nail into the coffin of Ange Postecoglou's time at Nottingham Forest at the hands of Chelsea, a 3-0 win. A very poor first half, a very good second half. It was a game of two halves, as they say. Welcome back to From the Shed and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, as always, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. You also like this video and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. But 3-0, 3-0, what a good performance. We did say that this had to be a solid performance by Chelsea off the back of an international break, which is never easy, a 12:30 kickoff, which is never easy. We've got injuries, which is never easy. But Maresca, I have to praise him, which I'm going to praise him in a minute, but I'm also going to have to criticize him because the team that we went with was Robert Sanchez in goal. We had Reece James as right back. We had Josh Achiampong right centre back with Chalobah, Marco Correa. We had Malo Gusto, which we're going to get onto him. Another red card. I think that's 5 in a row for Chelsea. Malo Gusto midfield alongside Lavia. We had Pedro Neto on the right of the attacking midfielders with who was in the mid with Andre Santos in the 10, which was again risky from Maresca. We then had Garnacho and João Pedro up front. We did know, of course, that Moises Caicedo potentially was going not to be fit for this game, but it goes back to what I always say: if you're fit enough to be on the bench, then you're fit enough to play the 90 minutes, surely. But we did not have a good start in that game. That first half was really relatively poor. Misplaced passes, not enough going forward creative-wise. I felt the midfield was very imbalanced with Gusto, who I'm not going to criticize and say he had the worst game. I mean, he got sent off in the end, but in terms of when he was on the pitch, his performance wasn't that bad. My problem is it was very imbalanced. And I think in a game like that, and I said it yesterday, you do need a Moises Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. You need one of those two in that midfield alongside Romeo Lavia. Again, it was always probably going to be the question that he would only do 45 minutes based on how long he's been out of the game. But it was poor. That first half, I felt like a lot of our players were still on international break or in the dressing room, or they stayed in London because something wasn't right. And we gave very, very good chances to Nottingham Forest to score goals. Morgan Gibbs-White probably had the best chance in that first half to make it 1-0. We have to credit Robert Sanchez, who, again, we criticize a lot as a goalkeeper, but today, especially in that first half, he kept the scoreline down to 0-0. We could have been a lot worse going into that second half. It really could have been worse going into that second half. I did feel Pedro Neto trying to create things in that first. It just didn't work. It didn't work. And I think we have to credit Maresca as much as we criticize him for the starting lineup. We have to praise him because at halftime, he was sat in the stands from the ban he received at Liverpool before the international break, and he decided to change it. He made 3 key substitutions at halftime. That was Moises Caicedo, who came on, Jamie Gittins also came on, and Mark Gui also came on at halftime. Those 3 substitutions, you could see already with Moises Caicedo in the midfield, control, and actually control the game with intent now. We weren't just controlling the ball and misplacing it and losing the ball. We were actually controlling the ball, transitioning it forward. Next game, we have to see Mark Gui and João Pedro playing in the 10. Mark Gui has to be playing as the 9, João Pedro as the 10, because Mark Gui is probably one of the most intelligent footballers we have at the football club in terms of our attackers. The runs that he makes off the ball, the space that he creates for others to run into, for something else to happen. Very, very intelligent player. Very, very. And if we can feed him the ball, if we've got someone like Esteval in the team, we've got someone like Buonanotte, or you've got someone else in that 10, João Pedro, he's going to get opportunities. He'll get opportunities to score goals, Mark Gui. He's a very intelligent player. And I think for the next game, that has to be the thing. We have to have a goal scorer that is going to take his chance, and we have to make sure that he is the guy that is number 9. Not criticizing João Pedro, but I think you're going to get more out of him in the 10 as opposed to in the striker role. Garnacho, I think, could have sat the game out. I don't think he had the best of games. But the goals, all different goals. All different goals. 2 from our defenders today. Josh Achiampong with the first, a lovely ball in from Pedro Neto. And of course, Josh Achiampong, who has to do that a lot more. He has to be a lot more physical in the box from our set pieces, and he done that today. He's the one that rise the highest in terms of winning the ball from the crossing from Pedro Neto, and is his first goal for Chelsea. You could see how much it meant to him. It was a very good goal. And I also thought Pedro Neto deserved the goal, not just because of the way that he crossed the ball in for the first goal, but his work rate, it goes unnoticed. It goes unnoticed how much he does. And I think we just expect it from him because he's that sort of player. And we always expect him to have that level of intensity. But he was immense today, Pedro Neto. He was so, so good off the ball, on the ball, trying to create things, getting the assist for the first goal and that free kick for the second one, a low drive to beat Sells. The amount of power and pace on that, the goalkeeper stood no chance. It was a really good, well-worked free kick. So we have to credit Pedro Neto, who for me, alongside Reece James, was arguably our man of the match today. Reece James, let's credit him. 200 appearances for Chelsea, scores on his 200th game for the club. Again, all over the top in terms of from the cross. Reece James is first to react to it. And I thought, we say this all the time about Reece James, that he's arguably one of the best right backs in the world, especially on his day when he's not injured. We've got to see that now. I keep saying it, we've got to see the consistency from Reece James in terms of performances, in terms of starting games, impacting games. We need to see that. This is the captain of the football club. So we need to see a lot more of that from Reece James going forward this season, because on his day, there's not many better right backs than him. And we know that. And that's not a Chelsea bias. That's just, he's that good. And we got to see that today with the performance, the things that he was doing defensively, his attacking threat as well. The fact that he's scoring goals, the way that he scored the goal today. There's not much I can criticize him bar the injuries. There's not much you can take away from him. So, we have to credit Maresca for that. We have to credit Maresca because he could clearly see that we were controlling that game in the first half, but we needed to step things up another level. And those 3 substitutions done that. I thought Lavia could have done more in that first half. Gittins came on. He changed the game in terms of, like I said in the preview, he was going to get space to run into. I think he's just got to utilize that space better, in my opinion. I think he's got to do a little bit more to work the ball better, to get the ball into the box, but that will come with time. And I think if we can get Gittins, we can get Estaval, who also came on, I think, in the 78th minute, and also Tosin in the 81st just to see the game out. But if we can get Estaval, Buonanotte, Gittins, feeding the service to someone like Mark Gui or João Pedro, we should be killing those games off early in the first half. We really should. We were very lucky that we came up against a Nottingham Forest team today who weren't able to take their chances. But if you come up against a team that can take their chances, we could have been 2, maybe 3-0 down in that first half. So we have to take these chances that we're creating. Or if you're having possession of the ball, we've got to do more with it. I said yesterday, we've got some really winnable games coming up. This is the first of many. This is the one that got Ange Postecoglou sacked. This is our opportunity to make a stake for the claim of trying to be in that conversation for the Premier League title race this season. And I think these next couple of fixtures, they're crucial. They're absolutely crucial. But I say all that to say this. Robert Sanchez, amazing. Kept us in the game, especially in the first half, but more so in that second half, pulled off some really brilliant saves. Marco Correa is always immense left back. Reece James, solid. Again, as always, I thought Moises Caicedo in that second half controlled and dictated the ball. But for me, I have to give all my credit to Mark Gui, because I think when he came on, again, I know Moises Caicedo done a lot, but Mark Gui, as I said, very intelligent player. We have to start him in our next couple of games and give him the opportunity. There is no Liam Delap. We've got a number 9 that is very intelligent and that we know can score goals based on the fact he was scoring them in the Conference League. So we have to give him the opportunity. If we don't, and we continue to play João Pedro, then he has to start taking those chances, because he gets into the right space, but he's not scoring the goals that we need to score in order to kill games or to settle games down. He's not doing that. So I don't know, but 3 points is 3 points. The nail in the coffin for Ange Postecoglou from Chelsea Football Club. It's a glorious weekend. Enjoy it as it stands at the moment. We are in a very good position whilst I'm recording this. So let's hope that continues. Of course, there's a big game tomorrow, Liverpool, Arsenal. But in terms of Chelsea, what a start to the weekend. Enjoy it. We'll be back soon with another video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that Linktree link in the description, and we'll be back soon.